The United States officially became independent in 1776 after a war with Britain. At first, the country only had 13 states, all located on the East Coast. After independence, the government decided to build a presidential palace. Back then, America's capital was Philadelphia, but they wanted to move the capital somewhere better. After searching for a new location, they chose an area between Maryland and Virginia and named it Washington, D.C. A lot of people think George Washington named the city after himself, but actually, government officials chose the name to honor him as America's first president. D.C. stands for District of Columbia. Some conspiracy theorists later claimed it secretly meant Devil's Capital, but that's completely fake. In 1792, construction of the new capital officially began, and one of the first major projects was the President's House. The building cost around $200,000 at the time, which would equal nearly $100 million today. For a newly formed country, that was extremely expensive. So construction took 8 years to finish. George Washington never got to live there, but in 1800, John Adams became the first president to move into the White House. Back then, it wasn't even called the White House. People simply called it the President's Palace. The White House we see today looks very different from the original version. The exterior stayed mostly similar, but the inside changed dramatically over time. Originally, the White House only had 36 rooms, and despite how large it looks from far away, it's actually much smaller than most royal palaces. For example, Russia's Winter Palace was over 200 times larger. Buckingham Palace and the Kremlin were also far bigger and more luxurious. Those palaces belonged to giant empires, but the White House was originally built for the leader of what was once just a normal country. Then later, that country became a global superpower, and somehow its president still lives in this relatively small building. For Americans, the White House became one of the most important symbols in the country's history. When it was first completed, the area around it was completely open. There weren't even fences. And for almost 100 years, presidents made very few changes to the building, until Theodore Roosevelt arrived in 1901. Roosevelt believed the White House was poorly maintained, so he redesigned the area around it and built the West Wing beside the main building. He also modernized parts of the interior while keeping the historical style intact. And most importantly, he officially gave the building its modern name, the White House. After World War II, America became one of the world's biggest superpowers. President Harry Truman believed the aging White House needed serious reconstruction. Engineers warned that the original foundation was dangerously outdated, so the entire inside of the building was hollowed out and rebuilt with modern reinforced concrete underneath. They also secretly added underground floors beneath the White House. The number of rooms increased dramatically, and almost every interior detail was rebuilt from scratch. At the same time, security around the White House became much more serious, especially during the Cold War. Over time, the White House slowly transformed into one of the most secure buildings on Earth. The Secret Service became heavily involved in protecting both the president and the building itself. Interestingly, their original mission wasn't presidential protection at all. They were originally created to stop counterfeit money operations. As years passed, security barriers around the White House became stronger and taller. Modern fences now contain advanced security systems and deep reinforced foundations. And today, nearly every window in the White House is believed to be bulletproof. In 2011, a man armed with an AR-15 rifle fired multiple shots at the White House from outside the fence. The bullets failed to penetrate the windows. Almost nothing is publicly known about the underground areas beneath the White House, but many rumors claim secret tunnels connected to other important government buildings in Washington. Some people believe these tunnels stretch all the way to places like the Pentagon and the Capitol. No one really knows what exists down there. And that's how a relatively ordinary presidential house became the most famous political building in the world. In 2017, the real estate company Zillow estimated the White House to be worth around $397 million. Although many people argued that a building like this is simply priceless. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more deep stories, hidden history, and mysterious places from around the world. Welcome to Dark Atlas_Things.